when the asthma gets better, they immediately have it on the skin, some kind of lesions or itchiness. And they ask me why my skin will get better, my asthma will get more, and when my asthma is better, skin gets more. So as a whole, you have to understand the individual.
So, for example, a homeopathy who specializes in women's health.
We have MD in dermatology. We have MD in medicine. We have MD in psychology. These are three opposites. Very equivalent to MD in other allopathic. Cardiology in sense is not there. But again, super specialization now it has started like 2-3 years. Confined to that, we are beyond that. I'm not telling I'm the only person who will treat you. Or they are already under some medication. Example, diabetes case. They're already taking insulin. I can't stop insulin. That's wrong. Every drug has its own specific action. Example, when you take medicine, why we give more in oral? I said you internal is because we have maximum nerves of connections in our mouth. And they take up those medicines. That is why we always take it in a clean tongue.
What are you saying? So if a patient has a sinusitis or anything.
So I was in second year. Before, I just wanted to know how really the medicine is effective. I tried R-Salp 30 potency on myself. And I ended up next day having flu-like symptoms. And I was very restless. I was having that immediate cold, headache, dullness, brain fag. And I couldn't believe when I referred it to the Metria Medica, where our drug symptomology is written. It was exact same symptoms. And then I took it R-Salp 200, which is more higher potency. It cured all the symptoms immediately.
So you did what your founder did. He also started.
You should do it. If you are practicing homeopathy, you should do it. So I think you should have an experiment mind if you are being a homeopathic physician. You should have a tinge of how confidence comes
Very
only
curious.
through that.
Very
You have to
curious.
have the curious mind.
And explore it on yourself.
Yes.
Because of the confidence that it will not have any worse side effects.
Worse side effects.
What are the worst side effects
And
that
how can it be placebo? When they say placebo effect, how? See, I've took the potency of R-Salp and immediately I had the symptoms. If it was a placebo, I shouldn't have got the symptoms. No, I shouldn't have got the symptoms. And trust me, I didn't even know the symptoms in second year. Okay? I didn't know the knowledge.
But then what made you take that medicine? It's a risk, right?
No. So, our provings are done on a healthy human beings, not on guinea pigs, not on animals, not on any other lower class of creatures. We are not harming any of them. We first give the medicine to we have a proper way. It's when we are experimenting a medicine, it's on always a healthy body and most preferably a physician.
Okay.
It's on a doctor.
Okay.
Young doctors like me.
Okay.
It is given in an experimental, there's a proper trial, blind trial and all that is properly conducted. They make a chart. They ask each day what are the symptoms. They jot it down. Then they know how to neutrify the whole effects.
But what was that medicine for which you took?
It was just an experiment base. I had a kind of curious mind. What if I take R7C? Let's see. Really? Is what the question was.
Yeah, but then what was it supposed to be for?
The medicine. The medicine, again, I'm not just mentioning one disease because it has a larger aspect. Okay. For that potency, what I took, I had few symptoms. That is what I exhibited according to my constitution. And it proved it right. So, because it is written in this kind of mind level to physical level, I had changes.
So, to simplify it, you take, for a healthy person, you take a medicine, it will show symptoms. But at the same time, if you're giving the same medicine to a person who needs it, it cures.
So, symptom similarity is very important.
Okay.
Highest similarity to that symptom will definitely hit the spot. It will cure the patient.
Okay.
If you give a wrong medicine, it won't give any side effects. But the problem is, it won't hit the spot. You might have small relief, but it is not completely curing the condition. And in some cases, maybe chronic, it will require time. So again, we have few rules of healing, Hering's law of cure, where the cure always should be in few directions. Example, from head to toe,
Okay.
from within outwards.
Within outwards.
Okay, from reverse order of the symptom, it should cure.
Okay.
What the last thing that has appeared, that should be the first thing to go.
First in, first out.
Yes. So that is how there is a law of cure. And when we see, follow-up is very important in homeopathy, okay? So each follow-up you will know if you have given the right remedy or not.
It's like a puzzle you're
Yes.
getting to know and solving it.
Yes. And when they tell, okay, ma'am, I'm having this and this, from which level? From within outward. Okay. That is how homeopathy works.
And that gives you a high, right?
Yes.
When you're seeing whatever.
I don't have to see any series or movies, just a patient and me, and it's enough. It is the most entertaining thing for me.
Entertaining or infotaining, basically.
Entertaining, yes. So enjoy the process. I enjoy the process. I'm never frustrated being a homeopath. You know, I see my other allopathic friends, they're always like, oh, I had my duty this hour, I have not slept. Maybe day and night, if I have to look in a patient, I will be doing it without being exhausted.
Oh, that shows the level of passion you have for the homeopathy system.
Yeah.
What are the researches actually happen in this? Because for you, as a young practitioner, you will be depending a lot on the case studies.
Yeah.
Do you have a repository of case studies? Researches happen because, again, this is coming from the same question of placebo. While there are a side of crowd that says it's a placebo, but I'm sure now that you said there is a separate unit, separate board that you're having for homeopathy. So do you have researches available for medicines, for different illnesses and applications?
There are a lot of research institute in homeopathy. There are different colleges, there are different government has built institutes where homeopathic researches have been done. And every drug, it is properly trialed with proper whole format you look in through, or you can just scan the whole process. They're beautifully made, they're beautifully presented. How can anybody frame such a beautifully documented system? I'm not understanding that. Our provings are so precise. How we have proved, at what dosage, how have been prepared the medicine to prove. Everything in detail is given.
Okay.
And after that, if that medicine has been given to 30 people, example, and how it has cured for each individual has been written. Precisely. You can, if you're curious about, you can go to website of IJRH. Indian Journal of Research on Homeopathy.
Okay.
So there they have given beautifully.
It's accessible.
There's there in British also. British Journal is also there. And Indian Journal of Research on Homeopathy is there. So you can go, and their website beautifully deals with a lot of... I have patients who do all that research and come and show me I have this condition, no? Can this medicine be given?
Oh.
I actually appreciate it.
So this IJRH website is accessible to public.
Yes.
They can see how precisely everything is documented and results are there, research results are there.
Yes.
And we are still talking about should I visit a homeopathy doctor for smaller illnesses or anything else? Okay. What are some things usually people, I know again I'm definitely not simplifying it, but then skin and hair becomes the major reason or the starting point to come to a homeopath. Are there cures to have a glowing skin and thicker, stronger hair? Are there, I'm sure you will do a diagnosis of the pathological and also the deeper dive of thing. But is it possible that the skin for the teenagers and for the young adults, skin and hair being the very major aspect of their life, how can homeopathy help?
Again, as we'll have a holistic approach.
Okay.
That is, from every point of view, you have to see. See, skin itself is not a single layer.
Okay.
Okay, we have epidermis, dermis. So again, there are so many layers of skin in that. Okay, there are layers. It's a very thick tissue.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, sorry, I'm telling it a tissue. It's a thick organ. Okay, skin is an organ. So when you are giving treatment to the skin, it should be an internal basis, because it can be psoriasis, eczema, it can be hyperpigmentation or hypopigmentation, as in vitiligo cases. You see, I've seen that white patches.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Is it solvable?
Yes. In homeopathy, it is solvable. I have seen beautifully curing all those skin lesions which are not suppressed through any ointments. We don't give any ointments. It is internally cured. See, whatever you're getting, it may be acne also. Why is it getting? Because excess of sebum is released. Your sebaceous glands have been infected. Why is it infected? You are not been infected. Why is the other person getting infected? Isn't it?
Right.
So it's all the structure of the skin that is having the pathology, and it should be treated like any other disease. It has been beautifully understood from when, how, at what age did it start, any hormonal imbalance is there, any other pathology is there associated with it. So we have also seen respiratory and skin diseases always alternate.
Okay. Okay.
Some people who have asthma, they end up, when the asthma gets better, they immediately have it on the skin.
Okay.
Some kind of lesions or itchiness, and they ask me why my skin will get better, my asthma will get more, and when my asthma is better, skin gets more. So as a whole, you have to understand the individual. That is why in homeopathy, we don't classify a human into organs.
Okay. Okay.
It's not pulmonologist, it's not gastroenterologist, it's not a urologist. No.
Interesting. Superb.
We are a system, and every system is interconnected. If you are to be called a doctor, you should be treating from head to toe. Okay? Maybe, yeah, you can jump more deeper into a subject if you wish to. Again, it's a choice. But as far as I have been brought up, I have seen every cases. Maybe when we lack in studying college, when a case comes, that is where we learn.
Okay. Okay.
And that is where we go deeper into the subject.
So, for example, a homeopathy who specializes in women's health.
We have MD in dermatology. We have MD in medicine. We have MD in psychology. These are 3-year course. It's very equivalent to MD in other allopathic.
Okay. So, homeopathy doctor who specializes or MD in cardiology or gut health. Is that?
Cardiology in sense is not there. But again, super specialization now it has started like 2-3 years.
Okay.
That oncology we have, and child psychology we have, rheumatology we have. So again, we are not just confined to that. We are beyond that.
Okay. Okay.
But okay, it's your will and wish if you want to study deeper in it. But it doesn't mean that when you go to a homeopath and if she has done MD in dermatology, you're not supposed to ask for fever and cold.
Fever and cold, or even for something else.
Yeah, it's not just confined to skin and hair.
Okay.
She will be capable of treating others also. Because that is what our system tells. You should be treating from head to toe.
Okay.
Including a toenail.
Okay. So, see, now that we have spoken, do you have patients or do you have people coming from allopathy, Ayurveda to homeopathy? Have you seen cases like that?
Yes. Many physicians are there who ask me, I've tried almost all my medicines. Can you just give me your medicine for cough or your medicine for my sinusitis?
But they come at the last minute or at the last?
They try their system. Okay. And then they come out for me. And few are humble enough that they tell their patients to come here. And I have many gynecologists who refer their cases, young girls who are not married yet, around 20 years, 24 years, they have fibroadenoma in their breast. That is benign tumor, which is not cancerous. And instead of going to an option of surgery, again, surgery, one is the scar marks is what they're worried. Again, during surgery, it all depends on surgeon. If the surgeon is really good, okay. But then if the person is not that good,
It's a risk. Always surgery
every is a risk.
Mm.
It all depends on that.
Mm.
So usually, if it can be treated orally through medicines internally, why not treat it through that first?
Yeah. Why not?
Why not? Okay, why not give this
So
a
you
chance?
can avoid surgery.
There are many doctors who refer us
Okay.
for benign tumors instead of suddenly going for surgery. Let's try out this.
This feels
They
good.
refer it.
This feels good because when they refer it means our future is more about integrative medicine.
Exactly. And when you do that as system, we will win. We will win.
Definitely, human become healthy.
Human becomes healthy. Human is in the advantageous side.
When
Indians are, definitely.
yes.
Because our approach, we have a broad aspect. We are welcoming for any kind of system. And when we are welcoming, when we have an open mindset, I think we are always in the side of advantage, right?
What is a kind of lifestyle homeopaths would recommend their community and people?
So, yoga, pranayama, physiotherapy if needed, or acupuncture, everything. Like if there is a need of kind of magnetism, that is another concept.
Magnetic therapy.
We are all welcome to that. That is all the external part, and we are not against it.
It will not work against
No,
the system of medicine that you prescribe?
no, not really.
Okay.
Because it's just balancing your energy. There's no wrong in balancing the energy, right?
So a person going getting treated by a homeopath can also choose to go to acupuncture or acupressure.
Definitely.
And you will not ask them to stop it for a while. Like there was a case study where you said stop those medicines, but here you're okay with that.
Yes, because the system involves in giving the example physiotherapy. It involves few exercises.
Okay.
It removes few tensions in the muscles. It's a good thing, right? It gives relief to that patient, because we should also consider the patient suffering. Sometimes patient can't wait that long. Few cases it will react immediately. If it's an acute case. If it's chronic case, it will needs time, because there are suppressions that are there from 14 years, 13 years. I can't do magic and treat them within 2 months, right? I need my time. I need my follow-ups. It needs time. In those cases, homeopathy needs time.
See, people can wait for 2 months, 3 months if it's not harming their day-to-day lifestyle. But if that condition is troubling their day-to-day life, they need a quick solution, a painkiller or something. So will you be balancing a pain-killing situation and also in long term I'll solve your problem?
See, it all depends on the duration. So if at all again, every doctor, homeopathic doctor, it differs. According to me, I'll tell. If it is an emergency condition and there's no homeopathy beside them, homeopathy, not all, everywhere there's a homeopathy pharmacy nearby.
Yes.
So, if at all it's an emergency, I'm not against them taking any paracetamol, any pain relieving medicines at the situation. But the duration they take is what it is important for me. Immediate emergency, no issues. Even the patient, again, every situation will differ. Example, if there's having atherosclerosis condition of the heart or heart dilatation, I'm not telling I'm the only person who will treat you. Or they're already under some medication. Example, diabetes case. They're already taking insulin. I can't stop my insulin. That's wrong.
So you will work parallelly.
And
Eventually
eventually tapering will be done.
So they will know. That's exactly what I asked. So while they're having their insulin injections or in whatever form they're having it, you will start treating them, and in whatever period, 6 months or 1 year, their insulin levels, where they're dependent externally, will reduce.
Yes.
That's all they would also need.
Yeah, I told homeopathy is very custom made. So I can't debate on all situations this can be done, sudden stoppage. In all situations it should be parallelly done. No. So it all depends on their age, sex, constitution, their way of response, their body type, their how they are accepting, what is their mindset about my system, and how ready they are, how strongly they are for my system is what I also consider. And then I'll tell them what to do the next time.
So the first session is more about you educating them, right? That you need to be consistent.
First I listen. First I listen everything and what I make a points of it. And whatever I think they've not told me completely, then I complete those. Then it comes where I start asking them. And then finally I'll tell what I am giving for. These are the things. These are things you have to continue. And I'm not against it. It is left to you and your other physician. These are the things I'm concentrating on and I'm giving you.
Okay.
That is what I do.
Okay. In our conversation, you were telling that Albert Einstein has spoken about homeopathy.
So,
in a different way.
Yeah. So he has told the future medicine will be the medicine of frequency.
Okay.
Right? So our whole homeopathy is based on the frequency. We are not based on the dose, materialistic dose. We have been always dependent on the frequency of the medicine. That is why we say 200, 1 They are nothing but the frequencies. So they are so minute that they are in the ionic or even lesser than the Avogadro's number. They're that minute medicines that work on the frequency.
Okay.
So whenever they say homeopathy, might be dilution. You take extract, then you dilute it with the water, alcohol. You try it. It won't work. Because we work with frequencies. In that process, there is a method of frequencies. We play with the frequency.
You said potentializing.
Potentization, yes.
Then now this is...
It is, while doing the potentization process, there is what we do. We play with the frequencies of that medicines.
Okay.
In that process.
How is it done?
That's, again, it is different for different medicine. But yeah, that to increase the dosage. For say, let's 30 potency to 200 potency, from 200 potency to 1 potency. How we do is we increase the medicinal virtue by the level of frequency.
So is it something like playing a frequency? Because in Spotify you get frequency music. Is it like you have the medicine and you play the music?
No, it is the vibration we inculcate into it.
You integrate
vibrations.
So you have
and there are few breakage of atoms. Whatever the molecules that were very stagnant, they were very dormant. Right? They're very dormant. They are not acting. If it has to work under you, it has to be recharged. It should be recharged. It should be active. It should be coming to life.
Okay.
For coming to life, we should break few bonds between the ions.
Okay. And that's where the
frequency and vibration comes into role, and the whole process is called as potentization.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is just not the medicine, it is also, probably we can call it quantum?
Yeah. Quantum, yes. Quantum, you can call it as quantum. Since, science is yet to develop. Okay. Science has no boundaries. It is never ending. You think science has ended? No, here, no.
Definitely not. 50 years, I think we are in the beginning. We are just beginning to explore technology, science and things like that.
Exactly.
And specifically right now, it is all about, I think there is a very popular saying, where if you want to understand universe, think in terms of frequency, vibration and energy. And if you're saying that is what it is about homeopathy, then it is a world which can't be seen but can be felt.
That is what the thing is. You see there's an electricity, but have you seen the ions moving around to channelize it? No, right? There is, the only thing that is there is light is on and it is giving us the light.
Right, but you can definitely have an explanation of everything because
Now as science developed, we can prove, okay, there is a movement of this one.
yeah,
Same way, for us to show that movement is going on, science has to develop more. And
which is on the non-linear part of it.
yeah,
So for homeopathy to be well accepted and to come to the system with not just belief but with also knowledge that it will cure, then the way we explain also needs to change. Will people understand this works on a vibrational level, at a frequency level? Yeah, that is something a questionable place we are right now, because people mock when you say that, you know, at the frequency and the vibration.
anything not seen in microscope is not a thing. That is a wrong concept.
That way you don't even know whether you are alive or not. Because
Exactly.
can you please take out and measure your life? You can't.
Can you? Yes, definitely. You can't measure mind, you know. Okay, brain, theek hai. You can see in the MRI.
There is mind.
Yes, mind.
Yeah. Heart also, I feel it. Where are you feeling? Can you please tell?
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
So, it does on vibrations.
Dr. Puvi, the next bigger thing is today, there are a lot of batch flower practitioners. Anybody from any background can become a batch flower practitioner with a 1 month certification, 2 month and 3 months. I'm not sure if you've come across. But then do you think it is equally potent, equally safe, or it's okay to try? What's your opinion on that?
See, under classical homeopaths, it depends from practitioner to practitioner, but not all classical homeopaths like using batch flower remedies. But there are few doctors who use it as a complementary. And it has affected, because we give more on the physical aspect and pathology background. But alongside, when batch flower is given to the mental stage, like restlessness or that stage of anguish or stage of irritation, and if it can calm your mind down during the stage, it is a well good medicine. Again, it depends on the physician.
Okay.
And yeah, it's no wrong.
No, it's not about the physician. If the physician gives, there will be some, because they would have learned and they know how to apply. My question was more on non-medical background people practicing that.
If you have learned well enough about the subject and how to apply it and what condition to apply it, you just can't randomly give it.
The one
That's the thing.
Cushioning effect here is, even if it is given wrong, it will not have any side effects.
No, it won't have side effects. But batch flower is kind of little contradictory. Because what we do in homeopathy is potentization. That is, we make it to the medicinal virtue. Here in batch flower, we don't potentize.
Okay.
That process is not there.
Okay.
And until any drug is not potentized, we don't consider it to be homeopathy.
It's not medicine.
It is not homeopathy.
It's not homeopathy. Okay. So
I'm not claiming it's not a medicine.
Okay.
I'm not claiming it is not a medicine. The problem is, we don't consider it to be a part of homeopathy as long as it is not potentized.
Okay.
So what we say in the minimum doses, a drug can be poison when it is given in a material dose.
Okay.
I'm not telling in the aspect of batch flower or anything. In general, I'm telling. Okay. Any drug that can be that is given in a material dose is a poison.
Okay.
That is larger dose, mcg, mg and all. Okay. And the same drug, when it is given, it can be a medicine when it is given in a minimum dose. So that plays a role. What is maximum dose and what is minimum dose? They are very important. Okay. There are many things. I don't want to touch few aspects, but yeah, there are many things. When it is given in larger dose for a long duration, it is turned into a poison. It is no more a medicine.
Wow. Okay.
And if it has to be a medicine, it has to be in a minimum dose such that it shouldn't create any disturbance in your physiology.
Okay. I think we're getting too technical in that
Yeah.
aspect.
So, but the thing is, see, that is why I say homeopathy has no side effects, no? So,
But we
our
cannot
normal
take the-
physiology is not never affected by it because it is very minimal dose and it will always act as a
That becomes a question, no? If it is so minimal dose, how
Mm.
is it healing and curing?
no, that's a thing, right? So when you are giving in a minimum dose, it is given in such a way that only your cells should react to it. Only the cells. And I'll tell you which cells will. Every drug has its own specific action.
Okay.
Example, when you take medicine, why we give more in oral? I said you internal is because your oral buccal mucosa has a lot of nerve connection. Laryngeal nerve, oropharyngeal nerves. There are a lot of nerves connected.
Okay.
We have maximum nerves of connections in our mouth. And they take up those medicines. That is why we always take it in a clean tongue.
Oh. Homeopathy has that condition.
Yes, take it in a clean tongue.
You mean after tongue cleaning? Use the...
Like, example, you had food. You have the flavors in that food in your tongue, right?
Yes, yes.
There's a lot of like example, ginger. Ginger is also medicine in our system. And we use it in a crude drug as in our food, nutritional level.
Yes.
So, it shouldn't affect my medicines that I'm giving. That is why I'd say, take it before you take the food. Wait for another half an hour, 1 hour. Then you take in the food. So that your system is absorbed the medicine already. Then you take whatever you want. It's your wish.
This is the reason you prescribe before food and after food. There are reasons. Because it shouldn't
interfere with my medicines.
And
Okay,
even
and your buccal mucosa is ready to take up the medicine.
So that it gets absorbed right at the right nerves.
Our medicines don't digest. I mean, like, it shouldn't, like other medicines, we'll just swallow, it'll get digested and then it'll go to other places.
Bloodstream, that's how it
bloodstream.
goes.
Yeah. Ours is different. Our channel of reaching the system is through nerves.
Okay.
So, our whole body is connected with nerves.
Yes.
Right? Every inch. You pluck a nail like this, you will get pain.
Yes.
Your nails are also connected, right?
Yes.
Nail bed is also connected, right? So every inch of you pull your hair, you will get pain over there, no?
Yes.
In your scalp. Isn't every part of your body not connected with nerves? So homeopathy can reach anywhere.
And that too instantly.
Yeah, that is how it works. So your buccal mucosa nerves, they take up the medicine, go to our master gland, that is the brain, sends the message, and every drug has its specialized action. Like few drugs works on the vagus nerve, few drugs works on the vasovagal nerve, so few works on the phrenic nerve. So every medicine has its own specialized way, and they reach out to the specified organs. Even organs have connection with the nerves. They reach out to the organs. They tell the organ, सरो बस हो गया, इतने ही एसिड प्रोड्यूस करो, ज्यादा नहीं, गैस्ट्रिक हो जाएगा. You release only little amount of HCl, no? Why are you producing so much of gastrin secretions?
And the moment you put this, all these things start communicating.
Yes. It's that reactive. We make the medicine. I told you, no, it energizes. So as long as you don't energize, it won't work. If it has to tell, if it has to send the message. See, our whole body has hormones. It has all nerves connected. And even it has to release some, see, example, if your BP is increasing, there is a channels where there's messengers that will be sent through nerves, through hormones. That, okay, you have to, BP is raising, you have to do a little, it will go to the adrenal gland and you'll read the message. Our whole system is having a complex connectivity. And our homeopathy works like that. Through the same channels, we also work through. We tell the organ, okay, Abhi, you are releasing a lot of gastrin juice, stop it. And now we go to the gallbladder. We have very good medicines for removing renal stones, gallstones, cholecystitis. How it is being removed. It is number one, I could tell. Renal stones, 2-3 days I've seen. They bring the stones in our clinic to in their hand.
Okay.
I've seen that. It is not just confined to skin. I've seen renal stone cases, there are a whole lot.
And in 3 days they can.
Minimum. Again, maximum, it depends.
How about the fatty liver, which is becoming very common?
Very good medicines are there. Very good medicines are
And how long this will take?
Depends on the individual.
But let's assume in the initial stages of fatty.
If they are very initial, then they can come under control within 15 days to 1 month.
Okay. Are there medicines for obesity? Can people become thin? Weight loss possible?
See, that all your lifestyle changes are a must.
Good food, clean food,
Exercise.
exercises.
No
That's the
sedentary
basic pillars.
activity.
But if a person is doing all these things and still not
Not losing weight, then homeopathy
Result.
works. Yeah. Then there's a scope for homeopathy.
Okay.
I giving medicine and they're not ready to change their lifestyle and they just go on with their routine, not working out, just eat the junk.
Nothing can help.
Then don't blame my system.
Another common thing today is B12 deficiency, vitamin D deficiency.
Yes.
Are there cure for that?
Yeah, there are cure for that. Even constitutionally you can treat. Along with that, we are not against supplementaries.
So you will recommend
Supplementaries are fine.